Dr. Raymond Kraynak, doctor charged after opioid overdose kills 6 patients. A Pennsylvania doctor was charged Thursday after his prescription of nearly 3 million doses of opioids during a recent 19-month period caused the overdose deaths of 6 people. According to the U.S. Attorney's Office in Harrisburg, Dr. Raymond Kraynak, 60, of Mount Carmel, was indicted on 5 counts of drug delivery resulting in death, 12 counts of unlawful distribution of a controlled substance, and 2 counts of using his doctor's offices as drug-involved premises. Attorney David Freed said in a news release that Kraynak prescribed approximately 2.7 million units of aceclidine, hydrocodone, OxyContin, and fentanyl to almost 3,000 patients between January 2016 and July 31, 2017, making him the state's largest single prescriber of those drugs. Kraynak operated 2 offices in Mount Carmel and Shamokin known as Keystone Medicine Associates. Federal prosecutors were seeking forfeiture of Kraynak's medical offices, his Pennsylvania medical license, and $500,000. The names of the patients, who died between 2013 and 2015, were not revealed. Kraynak, who was arrested Thursday, said he hoped to be released on bail so he can help his patients obtain treatment. At this point, we haven't received any discovery, so I really don't know exactly what's going on here, his defense lawyer, Tom Thornton, said, according to the Associated Press. Our greatest concern is for Dr. Kraynak's patients who still need treatment. They need care. Patients under Kraynak's treatment accused him of issuing prescriptions without conducting proper medical exams, verifying his patients' medical problems, or assessing their risk of drug abuse. There's a human cost to this, and there are people out there who have been prescribed hundreds and hundreds of pills over time, Freed said at the news conference to announce the charges, adding that it was concerning that the allegations came forward amid the national opioid crisis. Freed called the volume of pills Kraynak was alleged to have prescribed staggering. Nobody can deny that the crisis is in the public domain, and physicians certainly know that, Freed said. If convicted, Kraynak could face a mandatory minimum sentence of 20 years. Opioid addiction and abuse is one of the biggest health issues facing the U.S., with many health officials and advocates referring to the situation as an opioid crisis or the opioid epidemic. People who are overdosing on an opioid will be unconscious, have depressed breathing, and have pinpoint pupils, according to the World Health Organization. The U.S. Substance Abuse and Mental Health Services Administration warns to call 911 if the victim is pale, clammy and limp, has purple or blue fingernails and lips, and is vomiting or making gurgling sounds. In October, President Donald Trump declared opioid epidemic as a public health emergency. We can be the generation that ends the opioid epidemic, he said. This epidemic is a national health emergency. Nobody has seen anything like what is going on now. As Americans, we cannot allow this to continue. It is time to liberate our communities from this scourge of drug addiction. Never been this way. We can be the generation that ends the opioid epidemic. We can do it. How to automatically silence annoying autoplay videos in Google Chrome. At some point, publishers at a lot of the sites I frequent decided that it would be a good idea to start using autoplay videos. While I think their thought is that, when the video starts playing, I'll somehow be drawn in by their captivating host and majestic background music, the result is often me getting frightened by the sudden blast of sound, fumbling around to figure out how to stop the video, and then cursing the site creator and vowing to never come to their site again. That is until the next day, when I repeat the process. Yes, there are ways to block most of them, and ads in general, but as a person, that literally makes her living off people looking at ads on the internet. I am pretty against using them. Now Google is offering a solution of sorts in the newest version of Chrome. Chrome 64, which was released in beta on Friday, allows you to have autoplay videos go silent by default. Ultimately, it plans to allow autoplay videos to be blocked entirely, a feature that should come in January, reports The Verge. You can give the autoplay muting a try now by downloading the beta version of the browser. Videos are anti-muted by default across the board. You'll have to do that on a site-by-site basis through Chrome's permission S-bar. But it could be some much-needed relief from those sites you love to visit but hate to watch videos on. Chrome 64 also includes an improved pop-up blocker, better security to prevent you from being auto-directed somewhere malicious, amongst other improvements. Better pop-up blocking, and video autoplay mute coming to Chrome. Ad banners, pop-ups and auto-playing videos might be a necessary part of the online world. But when they're misused, they can be especially frustrating for users. Google says these are one of the most common user complaints about Chrome for desktop relates to unwanted ad content. And it looks like it's taking aim at this in the next iteration. The beta version of Chrome 64 for desktop landed only a few days ago, discussed over on the Chromium blog. And it introduces some significant changes, with possibly the biggest of these coming in the form of an improved pop-up blocker. With this, Google wants to quash annoying features like redirects disguised as play buttons and close buttons that open additional windows. Google says that Chrome will prevent these abusive experiences with version 64, but its effectiveness remains to be seen. I suspect it could be mighty difficult to stop this unwanted behavior happening in all cases. It's something worth pursuing all the same. And another feature of Chrome 64 sure to please users is an auto-mute option for auto-playing video. In the Site Settings menu of Chrome 64, where you can also disable or enable things like JavaScript and Flash as accessed in the green lock area next to the URL in Chrome, you will find an option to mute videos on websites by default. You will be required to block this on a per-website basis. However, you can just apply it to all websites, which I think makes less sense than having it automatic for all websites and letting users decide the exceptions. But I shan't complain, because, rather than just being an annoyance, I sometimes find those videos absolutely terrifying, usually, if I've been sitting in silence with headphones on for a while, and then a car ad screeches into my ears. Having such a mute option at all is a blessing. Meanwhile, other additions coming in the update include HDR support for those in HDR mode on Windows 10 and split-view multitasking features in tablet mode. The Chrome 64 beta is available now, though not for Android just yet, which is still at beta 63 and you can install it here. The features mentioned above should be hitting regular version of Chrome in the coming weeks. Google Chrome 64 beta finally lets you mute autoplay videos in Chrome. The search giant Google is expected to introduce a new feature for Chrome users. Google is already testing a couple of them in the beta version. Chrome beta version 64 has already been released, and those who want to test it will be given the opportunity to check out some of the new features Google plans to bring it to all browser users in the coming weeks. Last Thursday, Chrome developers officially announced that users can now update their browser and choose to mute annoying autoplay videos on websites. The update, Chrome 64 beta, also prevents malicious redirects and a lot more. Google confirmed that the update will add to Chrome an improved pop-up blocker, which is meant to prevent sites with abusive experiences from opening new tabs or windows. Apparently, most Chrome users complain that some sites include links to third-party websites disguised as play buttons. Now users can see a little info bar which tells them when a redirect is being blocked. Google has also created a helpful portal for site owners to find out if they're engaging in any of the new prohibited practices. The autoplay muting setting will be located in the beta version's permissions bar, which can be accessed from the icons next to the URL, either an I for info or a green padlock. Users will have to do this with each and every website. The new beta release also includes HDR video playback on Windows 10, a split-view feature for Chrome OS, tweaked page resize options for developers, and improved resource usage for media assets. There will probably some new features implemented in Chrome 64. But these are among the most important Google is now testing in the beta version.